Truly, ladies and gentlemen, this could be a transformative win for not just Chelsea's season, but the Pochettino era at Chelsea generally. Welcome back to Football Therapy with me, your host, Jan. I hope you're doing well. I really do hope that. I realise I've light flares down me, but I'm sorry, there's nothing I can do about that. I have tried. Pochettino returns to his old gaff, Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, the toilet bowl, 3-point lane. Only bantering. Yes, it is riddled in narrative, this game. There's so much narrative you could throw up. Chelsea, of course, often enjoyed beating Tottenham home and away. Tottenham are very good now. Big Ange Postecoglou is got them flying high, rather disappointingly, at the top of the Premier League. No one likes to see it. I don't think they've been flawless. They've scraped past some teams they should have been beating easily, including, was it Liverpool with 10 or 9 men? I can't remember. As well as not having the hardest start to the Premier League campaign, but make no bones about it, they have been excellent. They've been incredibly impressive without Harry Kane. They're actually like a little bit more of a better team. James Maddison has been incredible. More about him. I suppose we could talk about how we can counter that in a moment. And yeah, Chelsea's start has been shaky. Remember, the narrative is fueled here because the Tottenham fans would have liked, or lots of them would have liked Pochettino back, especially after things went wrong with Nuno, Mourinho, Conte. They probably, the mood was low. Of course, Postecoglou wasn't their first choice, but absolutely was the correct choice, in hindsight. But many fans would have wanted him. Many fans have turned on him for going to Chelsea. But a load of fans sort of understood that Daniel Levy never actually picked up the phone to call Pochettino, of which Pochettino has confirmed, by the way. So it's not like he turned down Tottenham to go to Chelsea. Tottenham never called him. He got the opportunity to join Chelsea. He had been interviewed for Chelsea 3 times, lest we forget. Of course, initially to, was it before Thomas Tuchel? I know, to replace Thomas Tuchel instead of Potter, and obviously for the 3rd time he got the job. I think the first time might have been when I don't know, maybe sacked Lampard. Anyway, the point being, he was interviewed for Chelsea 3 times. Pochettino is now a Chelsea manager. We're going to talk about this, the ramifications, what it can mean for our season, the lineup I've built, how we should play this game. A quick reminder to those of you who want to support the content to drop a like and comment. If you are subscribed, thank you. If you're new, you're welcome to. Either way, make sure you all hit the bell for notifications to be turned on, so then you get notified. Right, we should have beat Arsenal, of course, at home. We ended up drawing 2-2, fumbling the bag, throwing it away, and that should have been a real statement. I mean, the performance was really good, but it should have been a statement result. Arsenal's first loss in the league this season. Chelsea looking like a real team, and then obviously we go and end up getting touched up by Brentford. I kind of put that on the manager. I think he tactically got that wrong. But, there's still some leeway with Pochettino. He's still a new manager in a new club with an absolute, it's not like he's got all this data from the previous manager of these players. They're all new players, bro. Like, almost all of them. So he's really got a lot of space for teething issues, I think, and growing pains. And the fact how they're all fetuses and children, there is growing pains. Yeah, man. So, I kind of get it. I kind of have sympathy for Poch. He hasn't, completely won me over, but it will take time, We'll take time. Yes, 3 wins, and then a draw against Arsenal was good. Brentford was really bad. If you go to Tottenham and make, force a loss on them, their first loss of the season, with the narrative, dripping in the narrative of Pochettino coming back and he's the one. He's the one to be the one to topple Big Ange. It would be so fun. It would be so great. And it would be just headlines, Now, I think Ange Postecoglou is excellent. I think the work he's doing is pretty darn magnificent. But I want to see tears. Still a Chelsea fan. And I think we can beat them. The ramifications of a win would be massive, and the feeling would shift. But how do we beat them? Obviously, Tottenham aren't going to play a back 5, low block and counter like Brentford. They'll probably play closer to Arsenal, which means I've gone for the same darn lineup and formation as we played against Arsenal. Now, before we talk about this, I want to admit that, I've made videos recently about keeping formations. Now, I feel like keeping formations for your general play is important, but when you come up against a team that is clearly better than you, then I'm okay with you changing. Now, Arsenal are clearly better than us at the moment. We changed, we outplayed them. We changed the tactics, it worked. Changing from, 4-3-3s to 4-2-3-1s to play against Brentford was a bad idea. No, that's the case that I make for continuity in formations. But when you've tested something and it works in certain scenarios, then you have my blessing. So, 4-4-2 against, let me just move that over a little bit here. 4-4-2 against Tottenham, especially away as well. The way I think we are going to play this, I realise this is going to change the shape a little bit. Oop, there we go. Is Sanchez in goal. Apparently we're just never going to see Georgia Petrovic. Got to make our peace with that. So Sanchez will keep his place in goal. Colwill, who was rested last time out, obviously came off the bench, I think will play left back. Now, this, I have to say at this point, I'm recording this before Pochettino's pre-match press conference. I do not know the fitness scenario of Mykhailo Mudryk. He may be injured, he may be fit, but the fact is, when you play him on the left, you need more defensive solidity. Colwill as a left back makes sense. So this is the back four. Silva's well rested, should be ready for this game. Disasi, 25 years old, he played the last game, he should be good to go. And Reece James, now there's a risk here, this could easily be Malo Gusto, I think it was either Cucurella or Gusto against Arsenal, but I think James for 60 minutes and then Gusto for half an hour. Now that could go either way, that could be Gusto for 60 minutes, James for half an hour, but it's such a big game, he is such a good player, yes, it's worrying, but if we are managing him, if the medical staff have been like, he can play this game, this is a huge game. I know loads of people are frightened, like, just don't play him, wrap it up in cotton wool. But for me, Reece James against Tottenham, he will love that opportunity to announce himself, will remind people what Chelsea's all about. And then, it makes sense for that back four. I would play Caicedo, of course, and Enzo Fernandez. Enzo Fernandez quietly had a brilliant game against Blackburn. He just looks really annoyed at the end because I think he just wants a goal. He thinks, although he's a functional and creative midfielder, there's an element of, I think, from him, like, let's just get a goal for Chelsea and then not worry about it anymore. I feel like that's coming through a little bit. He's wearing the number 8 on his back. He probably feels like, let's just get me a goal and stop talking about it. Not that we care too much as fans, it's not his job necessarily to do that, but I think that's the vibes I'm getting from him. So the wide forwards that will defend the flanks and offer width will of course be the devastating Mykhailo Mudryk, Misha, who against Tottenham should be afforded space to run in behind because Tottenham at home will look to play, essentially. They'll look to play, they'll offer space for transition. Mudryk being protected by the extra defensive qualities of Colwill at left back will make sense. So Mudryk can offer width. Similarly, Sterling, who is the most confusing footballer of all time, he will work hard. He understands this opposition, and hopefully he won't be playing hero ball to try and do everything. He will just be a team player with offering moments, which of course, ladies and gentlemen, creates this kind of like box midfield, which is very trendy in the Prem at the moment, of Gallagher, Fernandes, Caicedo and Palmer. Gallagher and Palmer are so good as that front, well, what we've seen against Arsenal as a front two pressing pair. Out of possession, they move around together. They're both really, really fit. They're both really, really high octane. Technically good, of course, Palmer out of the two. A lot of the time, you will see it revert into 4-3-3. So Gallagher moving back into this space. Got these guys, this space, excuse me. And Fernandes left 8, Gallagher right 8. So it actually is a bit more like this. So the box midfield turns into pressing like that. And of course, we do revert back into a 4-3-3 in terms of training drill, pressing triggers and stuff like that. And the players know how to revert into the spaces of a 4-3-3. So that's really, really important. But when you want to just defend, it's old school. Proper English football, 4-4-2, mate. Out of possession, 4-4-2, and that will be really, really hard to play against, especially against a team who wants to keep the ball. Amazing quality there, like just this defensive quality here of these box four, Caicedo, Fernandez, Silva, and Disasi, and then those flanks just absolutely locked down. Mudryk and Colwill, I mean, Mudryk not so much defensively, but you feel so defensively safe like that. Sterling will get back to help defend. He'll be a good to run in behind as well as ball carrying. And Reece James as well. Now, of course, we could see Gusto. If we do really want to be a little bit more defensively resolute, you could, of course, play Cucurella there at right back. But I do think it's going to be Reece James. I think we're really going to look for that overlap where Sterling goes inside, James comes across there, and he'll cut the ball back for probably Palmer will be on this side. Not sure how many players are going to be getting onto crosses, but we do have bodies to run into the box. Caicedo will probably stay back. Like these guys, cutbacks, ladies and gentlemen, cutbacks, and also Mudryk just waiting wide to receive the ball, dribble in. And yeah, we could be cooking, ladies and gentlemen. Obviously, as well, we can have just a really good transitional play. If everyone say back defending let's just say a back three there. Mudryk's getting back, helping his man. James is coming inside a little bit. Sterling there. Palmer probably about there. And Gallagher definitely getting back in the box to defend. Silva gets the ball, turns, see Mudryk running. Mudryk suddenly got a transitional opportunity. Hopefully someone like Palmer and Sterling can get up to, assist him for either a cross or 1-2. But, also hopefully we can just see a Mudryk solo counter-attacking goal, 1v1 goal. That would be lovely. Now, of course, it's not going to be as easy as that. That's all theoretical. We will see a 4-2-3-1 formation from Big Ange at Spurs with Maddison in what really is a totally free role. Like proper, here's the keys, ding, 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 run around and do whatever the heck you want. And considering the numbers he's producing this season, it's kind of like, yeah, he's earned that, right? He does work hard as well. He covers a lot of ground, but he's just been so expressive and clearly in the same kind. I don't want to go too early on this, but in the same way, like when Mohamed Salah, who everyone knew was a great player, found Klopp and was just completely in the right place at the right time to play his best ever football, optimised. Something that I don't think Eden Hazard's ever had. I always bring back to Hazard when I talk about Salah. I just love Hazard. But Hazard still was amazing regardless. I think Maddison, in a different style and in a different way, I think he's kind of getting that with Big Ange at Tottenham. He's looked at him and obviously Klopp went to Salah where you're highly transitional, you're really direct and you're a good finisher. So we're going to play in such a way where we get you the ball on that right hand flank and it will be in a position where you can just go and score. And I feel like Ange with Maddison's been like, well, look, you need expression, ability, your understanding of positional play and passing lanes is so good. We need to just get you floating around everywhere and creating. So therefore 4-2-3-1, you will be the true number 10 with license to go wherever the ruddy heck you want. And it's worked. Though personally, I don't think that's sustainable for the long term. You don't get these like number 10 teams anymore, truly. Like maybe you can have that a little bit with Real Madrid in La Liga with Bellingham. Although he's very much a finisher at the moment, isn't he? He's like rather than creative. Of course, you used to have it. It was really, really popular back in the day. Certainly the 90s as well, like late 90s and early noughties. People were playing with number 10s. You don't really get it anymore. You would never get Guardiola doing it. Of course, yes, Messi at Barcelona, but that was different. But, his Bayern Munich and the way he's so functional in his City team. And again, Jurgen Klopp's Liverpool, really, really successful. And, Mikel Arteta's Arsenal. These are the top performers at the moment. None of them are playing with like some sort of free, dice rolling mercurial number 10 that everything goes through. No, they're functional. Yes, of course, like Ødegaard gets a lot of goals from one of the number 8 positions, but it's still a rigid, systemic style of play that serves these teams so well. And that's something to think about. That's kind of why I feel like it's not sustainable long term for Maddison doing this role at Tottenham. Now, this is going to be so tough. I feel like we can absolutely give them a game. I have to go with my head a little bit and don't think we just go there and win. I'd love to think we could. I do think we are set up to be able to. But I feel like we're just going to be a difficult game for them. One that they drop points in, but I do feel like maybe it's going to be a draw. It'll be like a 1-1, I feel like, and it might frustrate Chelsea. We'd walk away going, oh, okay, well, taking points of Arsenal and this Tottenham at the moment are signs of progress, but Arsenal, obviously, in context, was a massive disappointment. And if we score like a 1 goal against Tottenham and tactically keep it tight, yeah, it's progress, but it's not very sexy and exciting. Still, the way things are going and the way we've got trying to ease Reece James back, we haven't got Nkunku back, we haven't got Chukwuemeka back, and there's other, Chilwell and da-da-da-da-da. If we do get make these teams drop points and get points, it is a demonstration of progress as a good team. So I'm going to predict 1-1. Let me know what you think. What do you think of my lineup? What do you think of my score prediction? What do you think of my analysis and predictions? Comment down below. Thank you for joining me, liking and subscribing. I look forward to seeing you back here very soon, my friends. So take care of yourselves. Peace.